Morning. 7:04. Booties right here in his sleeping bag. Making my first cup of coffee. Using the CS instant coffee again. Waiting for the fire to die down for a good bed of coals so I can cook my breakfast. I got a new titanium frying pan. I forgot who it's made by. I'd have to look. Keith Titanium. I got it off Amazon. I'm gonna make corned beef and hash and eggs. Corned beef and hash for breakfast while camping is kind of a sentimental memory for me and my brother Joe. My Aunt Bev started making corned beef and hash for us when we would go camping with her, and I've done it for my friends when I was in my early 20s when we went on a trip to a week-long music festival in Illinois, and I've done it ever since for myself. And instead of cooking meals primarily just over a stove like this, I think it's pretty cool, especially when you're staying in a bushcraft shelter like this, to go ahead and try to make a meal that is over the fire. It's more mountain man-y, bushcrafty, and it's just kind of the things that I want to do. Coffee's ready. So yeah, corned beef and hash has been a go-to outdoor camping breakfast for me and my brother Joe. It always has been since we were kids, and it always will be. I guarantee you it's going to be pretty easy using this titanium skillet. I'm very glad I bought it. It's very lightweight. You don't even know. I mean, yeah, it takes up room in your pack, but I'm not looking. Yeah, I have an ultralight pack. I have the hyperlight, the 40 liter, and I love it, but I'm not. I have pieces of gear in my setup that are ultralight, but I'm not looking to go ultralight like those purists out there that you got to have your base weight to 8 pounds or under 10 pounds or you're not ultralight. Fuck that. I don't give a shit about that crap. I'm gonna carry what I feel comfortable carrying. If I want to carry a camp chair, I carry a camp chair. If I carry an axe or a hatchet, I'm gonna carry that. Like you see me using my little folding up saw. That's a game saw to saw up when you shoot a deer and stuff. And you want to carry what you want to carry and what you're comfortable with. Another thing is I use the travel size mouthwashes. I keep one in my work truck, so after lunch I floss and then use mouthwash. These are great little reusable bottles. The plastic is really durable. I forgot the fluid ounces on this because, well, it's travel size, so it's whatever 2.5 or whatever ounces that you can carry on a plane. But I covered up the label with some stickers already because I didn't want to look at the Listerine label. But I mean, the cap is really good. It's one of those caps where you have to push down and twist. These are great for, instead of buying those Nalgene different size bottles and containers at like an REI. I've looked at those. Yeah, they're reasonable priced, but this thing is not gonna leak. You can put olive oil in there, any kind of oil if you want to cook over in a fire. This is my creamer. I love my creamer. I gotta have some creamer and coffee. I will drink instant coffee or camping coffee, cowboy coffee, black, but I wanted to try this. This is my first time trying it. It hasn't leaked. There's probably 4 teaspoons in there. Of course, the lid, it's not gonna leak. So this is a great backpacking hack to get a travel size mouthwash bottle from any store, and you can fill it up with anything. Sauces, hot sauces. You can make little travel size for your backpacking meals for anything. Sriracha, just anything. If you want to put, you know, coconut or almond milk in your coffee, this is great. I have the good old peppermint mocha. That's good. That's a good, damn good cup of coffee in the morning. Right, Bodie? That's right. His ears weren't up. Bodie? Bodie, buddy? Last night was interesting, to say the least. I did not get cold. That is one thing I will tell you. I did not get cold whatsoever. Actually, to be honest, and I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to be like a badass or something, I kind of got warm. I was more than comfortable. I slept in my clothes, and then I put my puffy on because I didn't want to sleep in my outdoor research that hard shell rain jacket kind of jacket, which that's new, by the way. I just got that on sale, and that's great. I liked wearing that yesterday. Did not get cold. Kept my hood up on my coat. I wore my, as you probably couldn't tell in the video last night because it was so dark in here, but I am still wearing and wore all night those Sierra design down booties. Those are great, man. I'm so glad I bought those. I wouldn't recommend, I mean, you're not going to be walking around a campsite like going and gathering firewood and doing this, but if you have to get up out of your tent or what have you and take a piss, then that's fine. That's what I've done. And there's a ton of snow out here, as you could see yesterday, and I've walked out and gone pee twice, and but I bought them primarily to sleep in so my feet wouldn't get cold. My feet, I didn't even feel the cold. I didn't even wear gloves last night, and it got down to like 22, and that's the first time backpacking in the cold so far where it's dipped down that low, where I usually would wear gloves while I sleep the whole time, and I did not. I was very comfortable. This sun visor, you know, that you can go buy to, you know, like a Walmart or what have you, to put on your windshield for the sunshade. I'm so glad I bought that. That's another great camping hack, especially backpacking hack. Instead of buying a closed cell foam extra sleeping pad, which those are like $45, this was like $15 at an auto parts store. And that retained your body heat. And then I laid my climate insulated sleeping pad over that, and I didn't even feel the cold on the ground. Didn't even feel it. Over here to the side, I got a whole bunch of pine branches to lay down as a bed for Bodie. And then I laid down a whole bunch at the entrance of the shelter. So when I'm on my knees, I'm not, because my knees kept getting wet yesterday trying to get this thing situated on the inside. And those pine branches with the needles on them, thick needles, leaves, all that's a good thing for yourself as a bed, to keep the cold air from the ground getting to your body. And it's a good hack for your four-legged friend, your tent heater, if you sleep in a tent, as I did not last night. But I laid a whole bunch of branches for Bodie down on the ground, and then laid the sleeping bag over top of that, zipped it up about 3/4 of the way, put him inside of it, and tucked them all in. And he hasn't moved. He's stayed in that damn thing for probably the past 10 hours. I'm sure he has to go take a shit, because he did eat some food last night. When I take him out camping or backpacking, he's weird. He doesn't drink water, and he doesn't really eat. Last night I got him to eat because I hold up his dish to his mouth, but I crumbled up one of his treats inside of his food, and he actually ate. And I'm glad he did, because eating that food is going to keep his body temperature warmer when we got in here and went to bed last night too, just like it would a human eating a nice calorie dense snack or drinking a hot cup of tea or something before bed. When you're doing winter backpacking, that's going to keep your body temperature nice and warm for a while, right when you get into your sleeping bag and turn in for the night. But other than that, I pull out my right arm most of the night and put it inside of his sleeping bag, and like I just always sleep. I try to just give him comfort of, you know, putting my hand around his neck or on his paw, or just kind of holding him like you would like a teddy bear. Just have my hand on him, and just to give him that peace of mind. But he didn't shiver last night. He was a good boy. He's a good old boy. As you can see, this whole side of the shelter is I just laid a whole bunch of pine branches on for that wall yesterday. But yeah, other than that, the roof held up. It did start snowing. Not really snowing, because up here in the mountains, when it's warm during the day like it was yesterday in the 40s, and then we're supposed to get that snowstorm later today, starting early this morning, especially at the location I'm at. But when it's up in here in the mountains and that temperature's changing, it's not just when the precipitation moved through about 3 o'clock last night. it's not just gonna start. It wasn't just snowing immediately. It always does these little sleet like pellet balls up here in the mountains until it gets cold enough, and then it'll start dumping snow. But thank God it did not. It only dumped like those little ice pellets, little sleet and stuff. Wanted to think about changing into snow for a little while. And over here on the right, the tarp didn't cover the entire roof of the shelter. So I got up and cut and got more pine branches and laid them over the holes and stuff so it wouldn't seep through as much. But thank God it stopped, because I didn't want any more getting on Bodie and me and getting on these down sleeping bags and getting through the little nooks and crannies of the roof and getting on your face when you're laying on your back in your sleeping bag trying to fall back asleep. Screw that. But other than that, I'll tell you what, when I stumbled upon this shelter 3 years ago, it was bad freaking ass. And I will definitely try to remember to put the pictures that I took those years ago on the video so you can see them. It's just a really badass shelter. I mean, yeah, there's parts of the roof where I know that it was higher, where you weren't so low. But I mean, this like fireplace thing is really badass. And if you get a nice good fire going on in there, you can feel the warmth coming off of the rocks and everything. And whoever built that, I mean, it's really cool. And I just wanted to sleep in it. I haven't cowboy camped since I was in high school, and that was just on a warm, hot summer night in Nebraska, and that was nothing. This is winter. I wanted to try it, and it was in my book, it was a success. And all this gear that I've gotten is definitely paid off, and I'm definitely happy with it. And I'm happy Bodie was comfortable. There's all kinds of woodpeckers and critters out on the trees. Like, they're just going crazy. I can hear them. Let him loose. He'd chase one of those squirrels or something. But yeah, did not get cold last night. Was all right for the most part. I got some sleep, and it wasn't terribly cold. I would say this little backpacking overnighter in this bushcraft shelter was a success. Hi, buddy. Love you. I figured my boots would be a tad bit frozen. I did keep them by the front of the fireplace all night. They're not too bad. Damn good boots. And I was tromping around in the snow like crazy yesterday. And when I took those boots off for the first time last night to put on my down booties, my feet were 100% dry. Socks were dry. Feet stayed warm all day. No complaints. I guess Bodie is staying in bed this morning. He doesn't want to get up, and usually when we go camping, backpacking, if I get up out of the tent, man, he's ready to roll on out. He goes and takes a piss. But, no, he's just staying in Mom's sleeping bag. Oh, he's shaking his head. Bodie buddy. Here he comes. Come on, buddy. Hi, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. Hi, buddy. Come here, buddy. You did so good last night. I'm so proud of you. You're such a good dog. Go find a place to piss. You want to see what a pair of man's hands look like? Gotta get that dirty, just ground you. You touch a log with been burned in the fire and you move it with your bare hands. I like these little corned beef and hash because they have that pop top, and it's the perfect serving size for just one person, or if you're watching your figure. And when this is ready, I can just hold the frying pan with the handle and use it as a plate. Keith Titanium products, I found them on Amazon. I like to buy, well, I buy too much stuff off Amazon for one. But doesn't everybody probably? But I've been very guilty of that the past few months. Anyway, I like to buy the Amazon like choice stuff, read the reviews and everything. My mug is everyone buys the Snow Peak and stuff, titanium. That's expensive. This is the Toaks. I like the Toaks. This is the $7.50 Toaks titanium mug. As you can see, it came with the Haining handle. I tore that off, threw it away. I don't need that shit. And then my spoon is a Toaks titanium spoon too. It has the gritty handle, but then it has the smooth spoon. There we go. This is what I'm talking about. Anyone else like doing this kind of stuff? I do. Getting out here just in time. Snow was supposed to start picking up around 9:30, and it was right on time. So me and Bodie are gonna get in the FJ and get on out of here. Until next time.